Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Here we go now. Green 39.
A play fake to Hyde. Now it's Hoyer. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's second down.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Hoyer. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Hoyer. That is caught inside the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
he was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Yeah, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another
I'm
chance?
going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. They find some open field here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Here's Hoyer. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run high. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. 2nd down following the run. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now it's Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The numbers in last week's game for Graham. 5 catches, 69 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, this is Rawls. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On second down, Rawls. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pete Carroll throwing down near the goal line and it not turning out well. I think we've seen that before.
Feels like a flashback, doesn't it? You go back to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and everybody expected them to run the ball, and they didn't throw it. Crucial interception that ended the game essentially for them. I think everyone thinks they're going to run it every single time now. That's just not going to be the case.
Here it's a costly fumble. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll go play action with Hyde. Now it's Hoyer. He'll rifle this one deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. A gain of 32 that time. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On second down, Hyde. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. But winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
He'll drop to throw. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The point after now for Aguayo. And it is now 21-0. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly. And you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change. Get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now. But if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very angry defenses. You want the offense to take care of the ball.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Thomas Rawls getting ready to go here on offense. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And a grab made by Doug Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row.
Oh, this is blocked. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They run again with Hyde on first. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
Attempt carry for Hyde. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. He's going to rifle one deep. It's caught inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They run it again with Hyde. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, Sean. They still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
The 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him plays like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into...
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet, do a little toe tap.
And oh, it coughed it up. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Again, Wilson completes it to Moncrief left side. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Runs through the contact. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The 49ers are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Seahawks just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. 49ers opening up on offense. Rogers is able to haul in the contested pass. Continuing on the drive, and he'll be tackled at the 26-yard line. Hoyer's on point with the throw, and that goes as a 26-yard touchdown. The 49ers is up now by 7. Now to the middle of the first. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and after the short pass, he'll score. That puts them on top by 14. Offense out now after the fumble. Hoyer's got the completion here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. As they go up here at 21-0. Now first and 10, the catch will be made in double coverage, and he'll go in for the touchdown. 49ers pushing the lead to 28. Second and 2 coming up. Baldwin's wide open here on the catch, and 70 yards later, he's going in for the score. Now trailing by 22. They have it at the 44-yard line. The quick pass and completion is made, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 22-yard line. '49ers now later on the drive. Hoyer's on point with the throw, and he caps the drive with the score. The lead now at 29. Now to late in the first half, Wilson would find his mark in coverage, and he capped off the long drive with the TD.
Happy holidays, Larry. Your gift? Take the halftime show off, partner. We got some football to get to. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, it's hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw is Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Wilson on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's Hyde, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
And Wilson has it. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Again, it's Hyde. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Blue 90.
Boyer going to hand it off to Hyde. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Carry number 20 here for Hyde. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
They'll set up a throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Eli Rogers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, it's tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kicker, Roberto Aguayo, has it teed up and is about ready to get this one started. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 1st down, Wilson going to Rawls on the dump off. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 1st down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Throwing is Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Wilson will throw again. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Rolls. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to be a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here are special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the second half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now. Aguayo on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not all not joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zones. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. On second down, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Baldwin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Boy, another example there of how you've just got to be fearless to go over the middle in this league.
No doubt about it. And if you want to be known as a Pro Bowl type of a receiver, if you want to get to the Hall of Fame, you're going to have to make a good number of catches in that area. And how about the hit he took from the linebacker? That's where you really make it, because a lot of times that hit is coming from behind you, from over the top by a safety. In this case, it may well come from underneath with the linebacker dropping out from the middle.
Now Wilson on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and
looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it with Williams. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
You don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
To throw again is Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And the athleticism on this spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A good pickup there. There at 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter.
After reviewing the play, the rookie on the field stands.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second down now after the pass completion. One last shot for Wilson. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Niners, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.